Hey there, folks. The weekend's ending. Let's do today's daily target. Oh, pretty good. All right. Definitely one where I would be thinking about box shadows. You could do it with elements, and then the squares are going to be different, though, right? You could do it with 15 elements, and it'd be pretty straightforward. But the simplest or the least code feels like this yellow on the HTML element, and then it's some patterns. The square is the tricky part, right? Like the square is the tricky part. Let's put that color on to the body, and then narrow our margins. 3, 40, 41, 42, 40, 35, 36, 37. Okay. So I kind of want to, can I do the square first? Okay, so here's what I want to do. Radial, so no, conic gradient. Which is going to be start at 0, 0, and actually might be 50%. No, 0, 0 is going to be the shortest. 0, 0. And then it's going to have a width of like 40 pixels, or actually I can measure. Let's measure. I'm doing them more. 45 to 45 to 110. So what's that? 55 and 10, 65? 65. And then the height is probably also 65. Might not be. And then 1Q at, let's see, probably 20 pixels. 20 pixels. And then transparent. Actually, no, that's not what I want. I'm doing the radial gradient syntax, and that's not what I want. I want at 40. Oh, so what's this? So 45 to here is 95, so 50 pixels. Okay. Transparent. Oh no, yeah, actually we want yellow. 75%. Okay, now we can't see any of that yet, but I'm going to show you now. There we go. So we got squares happening. So the height of that is a little off. So 75, and that's it. So we got the first part. So what next? We want to fill those squares, right? The next layer is a linear gradient, 90 degrees, transparent, like 50%, and then that dark gray. Actually, it's like 40%, probably 42% or something. 0, 60. I'm just guessing. 58%. Again, those are just guesses. What are we missing? We got something wrong here. So I put this color as a backstop. There we go. So that, I kind of nailed it there. Great. Now I'm typing the word circle. Radial gradient. And 1Q. And I think we said, what did we say? Well, I think it's got the same background size as this, so it's probably the same sizing, right? Which is one of the reasons that I was thinking, I was typing conic gradient and thinking radial gradient. Okay, so at 50 pixels, so it's 25 pixels, 25 pixels, transparent, 25 pixels, and then the yellow. Now you can't see any, again, you can't see any of that. Why can't we see any of that, actually? No, I'm not sure. I got a syntax error, probably. There we go. There, sure, that's the problem. So if I do black, now you see the circles. Great. So then it's another linear gradient. So again, I'm doing each layer like it was Photoshop. 90 degrees, and we go red, and then this color, and then red. I'm not pasting red. 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 And that's actually very nice design. That's not actually the design that we did. Maybe it's 15%. 0. Oh, you see that little edge? You see the edge? I got it wrong. 17%. And that makes this, what, 83%? And 0. And let's submit that. So this is a kind of classic technique here for me. Is there anything that we can do? So, strictly speaking, if we get rid of this, does that change it? Kind of changes it. So can we get any mileage? So we kind of have that. Maybe we want just another linear gradient. Transparent. And then yellow. And that's going to be a little shorter syntax. 0. 0. 1%. 75 pixels. And that's 50 pixels, 0. Is that a little shorter? Maybe a little shorter. Because we don't need all the complexity of the conic gradient. If we're doing these, we have to do these circles anyway, right? So the layers. So we have a linear gradient that's doing. So let's pick this apart. Well, So I do the white. So that's all that. So can we forego any of this? Let's submit and see what we got here. See, this now has me thinking, well, is this just too complicated? Not that I don't like that score, it's fine. But okay, minify and unit replace and submit. Oh, what? Again, not paying attention. It's been a while since I've done that not paying attention thing, and I've submit literally a blank screen. Okay, so we've got somewhere in the minification is bad. Not that one. So we're just reading the code, and I'm not seeing it. Oh, it's definitely there. There's the at. So let's submit that. Let's see what that score is. Okay. So I kind of want to do 5 elements. Okay. Yeah, five elements. Each one slightly different. So we'll put an R as the attribute on the ends ones, and then an S attribute on the middle one. Okay, so you're gonna laugh at me. I don't know what read only is there. There's yellow. Display flex. Width is 50. Gap is 15 pixels, I hope. These margins need to be whatever the heck they were before. 210. Can I use an ampersand here? No, I can't. Can I use a star? Oh, no, I can't. Don't do any of that. Those are all silly changes. 40, 42, 45. There we go. 20, 30. Great. All right, so, and the height here, 200, 205. Okay, so these are my columns. So what is the pattern? Radial gradient. %, 0. Oh, actually, no. We don't need that. Do we need that? We're going to need height and width. I kind of want to top 100% wide, 65 pixels tall, var, the color, or this default, transparent. And 25 pixels. Here we go. 1Q at 50%. 50% what? Oh, that was my knocked and then made Gwen upset. I hear that. All right. There we go. So the circles are in place. So in the S ones, we've got the color of red. And actually it's C. There we go. Oh, no, that S is not the correct one. It's R that I wanted to do that for. There we go. There we go. Okay. Looks like I've got this height wrong. It's 75. There we go. Beautiful. All right. So this is a little simpler, right? Just this a single gradient, and let's do something else. We'll do var. So what can we do to force this guy to be a little different? To do a square. We want to fill that space, right? Like that's the, I mean, we can add, so for S, we can just do, linear gradient. That same linear gradient, right? And do, maybe that's what we do. That, and it's got the same sizing. Let's see, 50 pixels, 0. What if we do background image? Does that just do it? Yeah, that just does it. Because it's going to use the same coordinates here. We're just using the keyword top. And I guess we could actually do 0, 0 and have it work. can we do just 50%? That's also this. No, we can't. We do need it to be top. Yeah, top is fine. Do we have any changes that we want to make there? I don't think so. I think that's fine. I'm content with that because we're using the existing background position here, top, which is, so it's equivalent to 50% 0, right? So background position is 2 coordinates. One is side to side and one up and down. And for this, the equivalent to that would be 50% 0, which is 4 characters. And top is slightly better. I don't know if I've used top before, but it's been occurring to me that that's a thing that you could do. Most of the other keywords, middle, whatever, are going to be end up longer than bottom, right, left are generally going to be the same size as 2 coordinates. So yeah. So okay, let's submit that and make sure that we're 100% match. It looks like we are. Yeah. All right. So we minify, unit replace. Are there other? Yeah. Only where we submit that. That's great. That's a fun set, sure. And that's a better score. Other ways to do this. So yeah, let's go all in on the other ways to do this. So instead of a gradient, what if you just did background of a color, bar C, or a default of this color, right? And then instead of this height of 205, you do height 50. And then the square one, we just do that. Great. And then for S, we have border. So we set a border radius. Border radius. 50%. We need a semicolon. S, and we're actually already getting the colors for free because I did the R's for the color. Great. But we need box shadows. Box shadow 0, 50 pixels, 75 pixels, and 0, 150 pixels. And border radius needs to be a variable var 50%. Right, so this is really showing off that the power of this. And because of the way this is working, I'm going to do C here as a variable and set color to var -c. And then I get those for free. And then for the S one, which is the square, radius is 0, or radius is just short-circuited. And that's another way to do this. Very similar to the background, but maybe shorter code. Certainly more reuse happening here, right? Like that's a lot shorter. And am I right that I can remove the PX there? No, I can't remove the PX. And I don't think I can use a percentage. Yeah, percentage is not valid for box shadow. In a few videos, I've attempted to do background position with percentages, which can work, but the way I was reading about it, and the calculation is based on a differential between the element size, right, the container size, and the size of the background that you're setting. So if there's no difference, it doesn't work the same way. That's my attempt to simplify and understand. But I think I'm probably still not saying that quite right. But it's a fun exercise. And is that better score? Yeah, that's a better score. Very fun. Very, 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 very fun for me to do this three ways with 1.5 ways. No, two 2.5 ways. Because this is, to me, this is very similar. But no, the box shadow, that's a legit. We'll call it 3 ways. That's 3 ways. That's great. That's it. Sorry about that barking dog, but it makes it more interesting, maybe more entertaining. Dog's entertaining. That's it. Have a great day. Get out of here. Have a great week, and go make a webpage. Go make a webpage. I mentioned next weekend, the 5th, 6th, 5th. What's the day? I can't remember the day. What are the days? What is time? A week from now, the July 5th, in U.S. time zones, it'll be an Indie Web Create Day, and I'll be on that if you want to join and make web pages and learn about web pages. Really make web pages. It's not really a teaching scenario, but hey, if you are interested in personal web page stuff, it'd be a good one to join. Hope you have a great day, and have a great week. Bye. Oh wait, where's my stop? There, stop. Bye.